Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Bitcoin 10,000. All right, how's everybody doing? Man, already starting my chat. Need some water. Hello everyone. How are you? Sorry, just started my stream. Had to get some water. Sorry about that. No, not offline. Not offline. Just thought I'd jump online. Some crazy action happening out there right now. I was actually in the middle of a video on parabolic moves, and then I kind of got really long-winded on that and kind of saw the action. Thought I'd just jump on live instead. So how's everybody doing? All right. So yeah, Bitcoin 10,000 this afternoon. Bitcoin 10,000 this afternoon. We had a big jump up, big rally, almost 10%. Looks like 8.74% from 10,000. We just ran back down to 10,000, and then now we're going back up a little bit. It's gonna be interesting going forward. Something interesting that happened too is Ethereum started to have some crazy movement. There's been a lot of movement. In this market, and I think a lot of people are just jostling for position. I don't have a full beat on a really good feel for what's happening in that term, but you can just feel people moving money around. So there's some people that are going to take the position that Bitcoin's going to fall, so they move money into alts. There's people thinking Bitcoin's going to fall, so the whole market's going to fall. So there you go. So is it too late to buy? What do you want to buy? Bitcoin or I'm not need to elaborate on that a little bit. What do I think of ETH? Do I think it's over for ETH? Well, I don't think it's over for ETH. It's a little hard to say. We do have some interest. This is some interesting price action. What's happening here? Now, I've been actually racking my brain. I can't think of another pattern I've seen where you get basically two symmetrical triangles back to back. I mean, that's pretty rare that you get two symmetrical triangles back to back. At least that I've been able to draw this clearly. But then we came out and we failed. So the failure is not healthy. I will say the failure is not healthy, especially because this was very increased volume, and the volume stayed high in this topping area without the price appreciating upwards. So that does show some selling. And then the volume increased again to the downside. Now if you look at the 1 minute bar, we did have a crazy buy bar, but that, you know, the last bar here is a crazy buy bar right there. That's pretty good, and that could be a good bottoming bar. So maybe it was a short-lived sell-off. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. Time will tell. Time will tell there. But you know, in the same way that this is a lot of volume without movement to the upside. I mean, there was some right there on the. I mean, I'm on the 1 minute chart. You know, give me a break, but. Right here to the downside, we have the same thing again. So there's a battle here happening between, you know, these people and these people. So these people are buying and sold into some euphoria up here, trying to catch that move. Some people are selling that position. Then over here, someone's buying as it dips down towards 460. So we'll kind of see how that plays out. Anyone's guess at this moment in time. We have this level, 464, that's been supported here, also here again. Also, you see it supported over here. So this 464 level, at least on the minute chart, appears to be fairly significant. So we'll just kind of see what happens there. Stuck in tether, but you want to get out, and coins are at all-time highs. Yep. I will come back to that. I have some Bitcoin, but wondering if it's too late to buy more Bitcoin. So that depends on your perspective and your time frame. So I mean, really, what's happening here is we have our first topping bar in Bitcoin, 10,000. This is our first topping bar. I think everyone expected it to sell off into 10,000, which caused this kind of melt up. So nobody was selling because everybody wanted to get Bitcoin 10,000. But nobody was really buying because I don't want to buy Bitcoin 10,000. I want to buy Bitcoin 5,000, right? I think there's a lot of people thinking that Bitcoin is going to come back down before it goes back up. But what's up, Ian? How you doing? But when it crosses 10,000, the psychology changes a little bit, and then it becomes, everyone kind of feels that tension lift. We saw the quick run here up to 10.8, and then some real traders come in and take profits. Okay, that's pretty much how that works. Real traders come in after 10,000. They wait for the exuberant run, then they start selling off into it. But they don't want to tank it. They stopped right at 10,000. Right before 10,000. They don't want to tank this. But that's pretty much what's happening here. So you have the professional traders starting to take a little bit of profit here and there, but they don't want to kill the rally, so they're not selling irrationally. They're being very, very pointed what they're selling. The question is, when is the selling done? The question is, when is the selling done? And that's impossible to answer. Only the people that are selling know that answer. All right, checking out the chat here. Stuck in Tether, but I want to get out. Coins are at all-time highs. So there are a lot of coins at highs, but that's actually a good thing. That's actually a good thing. That is not a bad thing. You want to look for consolidation towards highs, and not think of it in terms of that the highs are a bad thing. Highs are a good thing. Highs are a good thing. Always doing live stream on nights. I should go to bed early. My work schedule has changed, and so it's harder for me to do live streams in midday. I'm also still busy with I have work I'm doing outside of my job. I have a side job, so I'm pretty much doing that in all of my spare time. Pretty much the only reason I'm doing this is because of this crazy action figure. Some people might want to chat, and it'd be kind of fun. So, but not going to stay on here that long. I just kind of want to talk to you guys, say hi, see how you doing. How you doing? I'm doing good. So, all right. I hear you, Ian. I hear you, buddy. Yeah, so interesting market the past couple of days. Very, very interesting market indeed. We've seen a lot of coins. Let's just go through here. Bitcoin's at all-time highs, okay? Forget 10,000. I'm just going to say that right now. Forget 10,000. Get it out of your mind. It's going to be, I don't know if I'm not going to call it FUD, but it's a distraction. Bitcoin 10,000 is a distraction, okay? It's just a number. It's just a number. 5,000 is a distraction. Not much was made of 7,500, but really it's just a distraction. You have to look at the price action. You have to look at what the chart's telling you. And this chart has been saying, buy me with your house ever since 5,000. It's really just said buy me with your house until 5,000. Ever since 5,000. So that's what the price action says. Even up here, we're on the 2-hour chart here. This last 2-hour bar, look at the nice selling. We just talked about them taking profits here at 11.8. But even that selling bar isn't irrational in terms of this overall scope. I will say when you're looking at Bitcoin, you have to take the longer term view. And if you go to the 4-hour chart and you just take the price out of the picture here, you take the price out of this picture, what do you see here? If you've been trading for any time doing kind of technical analysis, you should be able to look at the volume and infer what is happening. And if what's happening isn't what you think is happening, then it's probably a shitty coin. But this looks like another day. This looks like just a pop. This doesn't look like topping action. Even though the chart is parabolic, you do have to take the chart into account. We're not seeing we're not seeing the crazy volume like you would see at extremes, right? So these are the two bottoming bars. These are the two bottoming bars. I think this is 3,000, and I think this is what, the 5,000 or whatever level that is. Yeah, 5,400. Yeah, the 5,400 level. But these bars here, really much ado about nothing right here. It's pretty pretty benign, so not much going on there. Yeah, Bitcoin 10,000 is just another day. Just another day in the office, guys. Just another day. But what could these selling bars mean up here? We could get a pause, kind of like here up in 6,000. How we have this nice, whoops. No, come on. Okay. Kind of like here we have this nice big bar with some selling, then it goes flat. So maybe we go flat here for a while. I mean, that would not be out of sorts. That would not be out of sorts to take a pause at this moment in time. Any chance Bitcoin drops to 5,500? Highly unlikely 5,500. I was doing some analysis earlier. Bitcoin tends to pull back at about 30%, and 30% takes you back right to this high. Right to this high over here. So that's your 30%. If you get a pullback, it's going to pull back right to here. If it pulls back past this level, you're going to have this trend line to contend with here. If it pulls back past that, the rally is in desperate straits, and it's probably over. To be quite honest with you, it could be over if this line breaks. It definitely could be over if that happens. So I'm not trying to throw a FUD out there, but just from a technical analysis perspective, putting all the bullshit to the side. Yeah, so 7,000 could be in the cards. You know, this is 7,500 to this point right here, which would be a 30% break from this 10.8. Not saying that's going to happen right now, but I'm just saying that would be 30% from the current high, would be this point right here. And as we've seen in the past, this particular rally in Bitcoin, or I'm sorry, this particular correction in Bitcoin didn't even reach this high. It actually stayed well above it. But we saw it here in 5,000, coming back to 3,000 to hit it exactly. So we can flag out and go sideways here, no problem, and then continue on upwards. But there is a chance that we do go down. The best time to buy Bitcoin was about a year ago or 7 years ago. So that's the best time to buy Bitcoin. That's the best time. But yeah, we're sitting here at 10,457. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's check out Ethereum. Let's see what Ethereum's doing. See if it's being supported by this trend line here, which it looks like it is at this moment in time. All right, what's going on? My computer's freezing. And my computer's completely freaked out on me. Sorry about that. My computer just freaked out. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. But yeah, so the best time to buy Bitcoin is on a 30% correction. We've seen it several times here already, but I'm going to kind of give you guys my parabolic presentation. Let me know if you guys want me to turn it into a video, and I will. Okay, so I have these lines drawn here, and Bitcoin is in the middle of a parabolic run. Okay, it's in the middle of a parabolic run, and I'm not trying to create FUD here. I'm not trying to scare you. You know, I don't care if you buy or sell Bitcoin or put it in a paper wallet and shred it. It really doesn't matter to me. But what I do want to show you is what a parabolic run looks like. That is a parabolic run. Okay, so this is what's happening here. The last parabolic run Bitcoin had, it went down here from like 250, 280, 290, all the way up to 1,200. Okay, Took about 2 years, almost 3 years to come back to those same peaks at 1200, and then boom, now we've run all the way up. 11.8 is I'm sorry, 10.8 is the current high. If you're familiar with parabolic runs, I mean, this is one right here. You are looking at one of the best parabolic runs probably in the history of almost anything. It's going to be right up there. I can't say for certain, but in terms of time frame and in terms of scale and in terms of overall value, I think Bitcoin is going to go down in the annals of history as one of the biggest parabolic moves of all time. And it's going to do several of them. It's already done one from, 200 to 1200. Now it's doing one from 1200 to 11,000. Personally, I think we may even get up to 12,000 before we go down. That's my personal opinion. Now, what consists of a parabolic move? I'm gonna go ahead and go to the man. Now, the man here is Dan Zanger. He has a website, chartpattern.com. He trades stocks. He's an excellent technical analyst, and I found this on his website, the parabolic curve pattern. Okay, so let's read through this. The parabolic curve is probably one of the most highly prized and sought after patterns. This can yield you the biggest and quickest return in the shortest possible time. Generally, you will find a few of these patterns at or near the end of major market advances. The pattern is the end result of multiple base formation breaks. So what he talks about here, is you have several bases. Here's a base, base 2, base 3, base 4, then the parabolic run. Okay, so there's some science behind this. This isn't just him pulling shit out of his ass. You can actually see this over and over again. And he's cherry-picked broad vision. I believe this is from the 1999 bull market in the stock market. And you can kind of see the 1, 2, 3, 4 bases here. Okay, I kind of consider this like base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4. This one had several bases. I think this is actually a weekly chart, so I could break it down technically, but that gets kind of boring. But if you notice, he has these lines drawn across these bottoms. Okay, so there's the third line. Here's the fourth line that goes very, very vertical. See if I can increase that for you guys. Okay, so he draws a line across all these lows. Wherever the lows coincide, you draw your lines here, and then you start to get this very vertical, very parabolic line, and that will eventually break. All of these break. All of these usually break hard, and very rarely do they consolidate really nice and tight and go sideways. There's just too many people involved, and that's what we have right here in Bitcoin. I've drawn these lines already. I didn't have this one in there earlier, but so you have the fan here from this low to the low down here at 1800 to the low at 3000. You can draw that line. You draw this line between 3000 and this low here at 5400. You draw that line. Now we have the parabolic line, the extreme parabola line right here. Okay, so any break of this line is a hard sell signal, in my opinion. Okay, now keep in mind, this isn't financial advice, this isn't trading advice, this is purely entertainment, folks. But any break of this parabolic line is a hard sell. In my mind, point blank, period, no questions asked. It's a hard sell. Let's go back to this. He talks about a little bit about it up here, right here. Okay, so the stock's finally breaking down after one of the greatest runs of all time. Today, the stock broke the most extreme rising line, which is this one. Okay, so you can see it breaks right there. I would short if the stock comes close to the upper line at 178 or so. A break of the third rising trend line, this one, would be another area to short. See you, Ian. Have a good one, buddy. So usually this one did go down to break this third trend line, and it continued. So yeah, so there you go. So I'm not a proponent of shorting cryptocurrencies in general, but if this is the potential top, if you want to short, if you want to take that high risk, you can short on the break of this trend line. Okay, and if it breaks this trend line, keep in mind we just talked about a 30% move down to here. That could be in the cards. So here's a potential trading plan for you. Where'd it go? Where the fuck's my tape measure? Okay, so here's the trading plan. If this is the parabolic move, if this falters, what you do is you place your conditional order somewhere down here at the $7,600 level, maybe 77, depending on how greedy you want to get. You place a conditional order down here, okay? So Bitcoin comes up, it tops, it comes back down. If this bounces back up, you're in at a good point. If this cracks this third line, this line right here, you get out. You run away and you don't come back, okay? Like I said earlier, if this line cracks, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. As these lines start to topple, you'll see it time and time again. It never ends well, okay? It just never ends well. So that's kind of that trading plan. But to be honest with you, there's a high probability in my mind that we go up probably towards 12,000. Yeah, I think we may go up towards 12,000. That would get us 20% past this 10,000 line. And if you want to go back and look at the 2013 high, I mean, think about it. Everyone thinks this is going to stop at 1,000, but it doesn't. It goes up to almost 1,200, right? 1175. So 1175. But it goes up here to 1175 and then caves, right? And then this one right here, I think this is the prior parabolic run. It went up to 300. Everyone probably thought it would stop at 250 because it's kind of an intermediate round number, but no, it jumped another 20%. So it likes to run past these clear levels, these clear psychological resistance points, and then it tends to fail at that point in time. And don't get it twisted, everyone. This will fail. Guaranteed. This will fail. Now, that being said, I can't guarantee it's going to fail at 12,000. It may fail at 25,000. That part I can't guarantee you. But all of these runs fail at some point in time. They all fail at some point in time. History's told you that. If you guys are aware of a parabolic run like this that's gone up tenfold plus that hasn't failed, I would really love to see an example of it because I am not aware of it. All right, so that's kind of that. That's kind of that. Eve, right? Did I get your name right there, Abe? Is it Eve? Do I recommend getting out of the alts when Bitcoin falls? So that is a question I've been pondering, and I don't have a clear answer for that. I say you take everything on its own merit. So like I'm extraordinarily heavy in Ethereum. Okay? Like I'm literally my entire core position is in Ethereum. And it has been for quite some time. I completely missed the last part of this Bitcoin move, but the Ethereum move's been better, so I'm fine with that. You take each coin on its own merit. Okay, that's pretty much what you do. I wouldn't just blindly get out of alts. Now, if you start to see dominoes topple, then you can take a preemptive strike, right? Like if you start to see things falter, like you start to see, Dash fall, Litecoin fall, then you could definitely get out of all of these currencies. And then if you see the platform coins fall, like if you see, Neo, EOS, Lisk, IOTA, if you see those things start to tank, then you can, jump out of those. But I think you take each on its own merit and you just kind of manage the trade. But that leads to another question, Eve, is that can the alts rally without Bitcoin? And that's a question that I don't think we have the answer to yet. I think that the markets are highly correlated. I think for the altcoins to be successful, I think Bitcoin needs to not be tanking like crazy. But keep in mind, we haven't really seen that before. The only examples we've seen of corrections in Bitcoin, the altcoins have gone with Bitcoin. Okay? But recently, we've seen Bitcoin Cash come on the scene. We've seen Bitcoin Gold now, and Bitcoin Gold has no history, but we've seen Bitcoin Cash have an inverse correlation to Bitcoin in a lot of instances. So, maybe you jump into Bitcoin Cash. It's a little hard to tell. Like, so Bitcoin faltered a little bit here, and boom, we had this big spike up in Bitcoin Cash. And then now Bitcoin stabilizes, Bitcoin stabilizes and Bitcoin Cash reverts. So it's a little hard to say exactly what you need to do, but you just have to kind of look at the charts. You just kind of have to look at them, see what's behaving, note the correlations. Oh, Bcash, good for them. You have to see the correlations and then trade accordingly. That's really all you can do. I don't like to forecast upon the market. The market has to forecast on us. Our job is to listen to the market, not to force the market to do one thing or the other. Why am I so heavy in Ether? Did you catch my last Ethereum video there, Brock? So, Sai, no, it's not you, troll. Who are you talking to? Me? I have one of these conversations again. This should be fun. Why am I so heavy in Ether? Okay. So if you haven't seen my my Ethereum video, let's go to the daily chart in the second largest cryptocurrency coin. Why the hell does my line look like that? That is not right. There we go. Okay. Don't know what BLX is. Not quite sure. Okay, so I actually started loading up an Ethereum right here. My initial entry was about 307. 307 on this kind of run up here on this big volume where volume started to come in. Ethereum is the second largest coin by market cap. It is a very, regardless of its challenges, every coin has its challenges, right? No one's perfect, nothing's perfect. Very tight sideways action here. Very tight sideways action. Very nice curling up action in the right side of the space. And if you notice, when volume started to increase on this candle here, volume stayed high. Notice how volume stays high above average. This is accumulation. Okay, this is accumulation. And this coin hasn't run for 6 months. You take... Stupid thing. What the fuck? Sorry guys, my screen, I don't know if I'm having a JavaScript problem. I'm not sure exactly what the error is, but it's got to be a driver problem with my computer. Actually, it's not going to be JavaScript. My whole computer blinks. Anyway, so 6 month long base, give or take, in Ethereum. These long bases, when you see these, you stand up and pay attention. I've talked before about slap you in the face trades. 100% slapped me in the face, knocked me on the ground. Now I know there's other smaller coins that they're going to get you 100% in 3 hours, right? You have those coins, but you can't put, you can't put your core position into ADA, right? Like if you guys saw what ADA did today, you can't put your core position into ADA. There's 3 people in the world that can do that successfully time and time again, and they don't do YouTube videos. But I feel completely comfortable putting my core position in the second largest cryptocurrency with a very bullish pattern. It's just massive accumulation. I feel very comfortable doing that. Very comfortable. Yeah, ADA is a pretty solid coin, but yeah, you're right about that. Maybe I misspoke on that ADA. I apologize about that. Actually, someone mentioned today in the Slack channel that ADA was 9 on CoinMarketCap. I had no freaking idea, but it did go up 400%. So I have that going for me there. But the action up here, from a daily perspective in Ethereum, I mean, look at this nice tight action. It's just sitting here. It's just kind of, wow. It's just kind of sitting up here. But everyone's comfortable with how they trade. I don't advocate you put everything into one position. A lot of that would freak a lot of people out. But I've slept like a baby. I mean, I've been in this thing since 11/9. I've been hodling this thing for like 19 days now, and I usually don't hold positions for 19 days in cryptocurrencies. But nothing in this chart at any time scared me. Nothing in this chart scared me whatsoever. And you can't say that for a lot of coins. There are some you can't say that for, but Ethereum, anyway, definitely a solid coin, definitely quality. But that leads the question, right? If Bitcoin is going parabolic and if it's going to fall, can we have Ethereum run? Can we have the rest of the altcoins run without Bitcoin going up? I don't really have that answer. I don't have that answer. So that's going to kind of be a toughie. That's going to be a toughie. But today we did have a lot of really good runs before the market just kind of turned to crap after Bitcoin 10,000. I've noticed the alts really like to run when Bitcoin is resting. When Bitcoin's sitting there, you know, it's kind of like, you know, dad's sleeping, I'm going to go raid the fridge. But as soon as dad wakes up again, everything everyone goes and hides in the corner. Pulls their money out of the market. I don't know if it all goes back into Bitcoin to try to catch the run. I don't know how that works out, but you know, we saw it in Ethereum. Looks Ripple's down 8% now. Ripple tried to have a nice move, popped up on some really good volume out of this kind of triangle pattern, very similar to Ethereum actually. Yeah, I can check out OMG. I can check out OMG. Yeah, Litecoin really didn't sell off, but Litecoin's doing really nice here. NEM isn't a coin. XMR, you know, XMR kind of had a nice run, pulled back a little bit. Looks like Dash didn't care too much. Dash didn't care too much. We got Ethereum Classic though coming down 10% from the highs. So everything just kind of sold off right when that Bitcoin 10,000 happened. It's nonsensical to me that you would just pull money out of alts and put them into Bitcoin when it crosses 10,000. That seems very odd to me. But that seems to be what the charts are telling you correlation-wise. So you've got, someone mentioned to look at Omisego. Let's take a look at Omisego while we're going through this. On a daily perspective, it's consolidating. The volume is pretty light. It's kind of having a nice little run here, nothing crazy. If we go down into the 2 hour, we have what's looks like to be a potential bottoming candle hitting this 100 EMA here. So this move may have, this may limit its downside, plus the fact that it's tested these two prior highs. See where my dotted line goes across my screen? That level's been resistance, was broken here. Now it's support. So the bottom's probably in for Omisego right here, I would say, especially with volume like that. Hopefully it's done. Oh, what's up, Dan? Thoughts on Ripple USD? Yeah, so Ripple's interesting. It's got this big pattern. Frederick in the chat room likens this to Ethereum, and I kind of think it does correlate a little bit. It's not exactly, because they're two very different coins in terms of tech-wise, and but it does have this kind of triangle pattern where it chopped around, had some nice curling action, and then it, you know, but Ripple's going to be a lot more choppy than Ethereum. It's proven that, and it's proving it again. But I think Ripple's a good coin. I think it's going to run. I mean, you're at, what, 25 cents? The high here is 43 cents. We're going to see that high at some point in time. I don't have a doubt about that. If you guys didn't hear about IOTA, just buy it. Just buy it and throw it in a closet or something. I think IOTA is going to be the Ethereum of 2018, like Ethereum was in 2017. I think IOTA is going to be a $20 billion market cap coin. Yes, I pulled that number out of my ass, but the point is that I think Ethereum, IOTA, is going to run like mad. If you guys didn't hear, they're basically doing the, like Ethereum has the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. IOTA is doing the exact same thing for IOTA, but they're developing IoT technology. It's pretty fascinating what they're doing. It's pretty fascinating what they're doing, and where there wasn't a market before, they're literally creating the market, which I think is pretty phenomenal. I think that's pretty phenomenal, and you can see it. You can see it in this volume. You wonder why IOTA had this huge run, pretty much non-stop, up to $1 from the 40-cent level. Now you know why. Now you know why, because they knew they were going to announce this alliance, and they knew that they were going to use this network, and this is now a very, very viable coin, where before it was a very nice project, and it kind of seemed like it was good tech, but a little ahead of its time, or a lot ahead of its time. Now it seems like, even though it's a little early, getting a dollar IOTA is going to be like $10 Ethereum, right? Like, what would you do for $10 Ethereum right now? I mean, come on. So, but yeah, so Misego doing okay, pulling back here a little bit, and a couple coins running today. What was the one I saw earlier? IOP is running again, if you guys haven't noticed. IOP, 50%. Crazy. First pop. So don't buy that, but you wait for the consolidation, and then you can buy the second pop. Go to the 2 hour. Yeah, still, it just popped like 6 hours ago. Just popped 5 hours ago. Crazy. Hasn't been on my watch list for quite some time. Total market cap prediction for end of the year. I don't know. Be honest with you. If you just want to throw a number, what's it at now? Oh, let's see, what's it at now? 324. So we have a month until the end of the year. What's my prediction for market cap? Let's go with, I'm gonna stay bullish. I'm just gonna go 400, maybe 450. Oh, looks like someone's right on line. TSM thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, it's a good range. That's a good range, I think. You know, that gives you a little bit of room to run, but man, a month in crypto is crazy. ADA 164. Wow, 3.6 billion market cap. That's freaking crazy. I had no idea that it was up at number 9. Someone mentioned that today in the chat. I just had no idea. Some people call this an Ethereum killer. I haven't done enough research on it, to be honest with you. But if you look at IOTA at 4, Cardano at 3.6, and Ethereum at 45, there's no reason that IOTA can't come right up here. I see zero reason that IOTA can't do that. There's just none. There's no reason. You have big market adoption that's going to be coming out. They're going to be writing SDKs for this thing. I mean, you're just going to see, you know, news event after news event. You're going to start seeing the network being utilized. So I think it's going to be super huge. So 1 billion all the way down to number 16 with Qdom. That's spectacular. Oh, Charlie Hoskins does an excellent video. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right, guys, I'm going to call my live stream done. I'm getting a little tired here. Just wanted to jump on, kind of wrap a little bit with you guys. Yeah, any last questions before I go? Anyone want to look at a coin? Anything in particular you guys are looking at, or let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin kind of trading in this range right here between the 1250 and this 10,000 range. Pay? Let's look at Pay. Pay, I've got Pay in here. I'm not sure what modem is. Pay on the 2 hour chart looks weird. On the daily chart, okay. Nice cup. Hopefully put in some kind of a handle. Ooh, EOS. You know what I just learned? I just learned that, because I wanted to buy some IOTA, I just learned that Bitfinex no longer deals with U.S. customers, so fuck Bitfinex. Everyone pull your money out. Just pull it out. Go to another exchange. That's bullshit. Pisses me off so bad. I would wait for this handle to play out before I would do anything with Pay. If you want to get in low here, you may have a natural stop almost at the bottom of this bar. I mean, you could probably give it to 230, but you kind of have a natural stop down here. But it looks like it's going to handle out between the 2.9 area. Hopefully it's done at this moment in time, but there's no volume bottom that's been put in here necessarily, so it really could do anything. But that's really why you wait for the breakout, because you don't know what it's going to do. I also mentioned modem. Modem. Okay, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a mistype. EOS. Oh, EOS, the freaking coin that I saw that I couldn't buy that I like. EOS, a little bit of topping right there. That's quite a bit of topping. I don't like that. I would be selling. Personally, I would be selling here. I don't like these little selling spikes. Not a fan of that at all. Not a fan of that. If you want to pick a level, if you want to give it some extra room, it's hard to tell because it's so close to this base. If you give it down to 260, I feel it's going to hit that no matter what. So you may as well sell now. Past that, if you want to be a longer term holder, it may come back and test this 2-1 area. Okay. Maybe, maybe not. But if you notice, this was a nice kind of uptrend. This is topping pretty aggressively. Not a big fan of that. Bitcoin correction. It's still at 10.3. Can't really call that a correction yet. Maybe. We'll see, Trung. We'll see. We will see. Is Bitcoin rolling over short term? You know, it's just trading. It's just trading. Get 10,000 out of your mind. Take 10,000 out of the picture. Just look at the chart. You know, it does appear there is some selling up here. So it could be topping. We could be in for a nice sideways consolidation. Anytime you see these big tall wicks, you see kind of tall wicks here. It goes sideways for a time. Now here's kind of a couple tall wicks. Here's a tall wick. It did go up, but it didn't really run. Okay, so you see these tall wicks. Then it goes sideways. So here's a nice tall wick. This one didn't quite work out, but they don't always work out. So it does look like it's a little toppy up here. Just kind of have to deal with it then. XLM. Surprised someone hasn't mentioned XLM. That's pretty toppy. Yeah, I don't know if it's topped per se. The volume isn't exponentially higher, but that's some selling there. A little bit of selling there. That's definitely some selling there. You have two pretty big sell bars. It's definitely due a rest to consolidation. It's hard to say. I think this is an all-time highs, isn't it? Yeah, this is an all-time highs. So it's tough. I mean, you look at this bar, right? Look at this bar, just boom, straight up. Yeah, it's just going to consolidate. It's really hard to tell. There's not enough history. It just has to play out. So it just has to play out. And your time frame is important too. If you think it's top for the day, I think it's top today. I think it's going to consolidate more. It needs to do some consolidation. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I will try to do a video later on, something more topical. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for watching. See you next time.